In honor of Pride Month, I want to share a story about authenticity. While part of the story involves my experience as a lesbian, it's really a story about finding your voice and having the courage to use it. Growing up and into adulthood, I experienced complicated family dynamics that forced me to learn some very difficult lessons. I learned that love and acceptance always aren't the same thing. I learned that healthy boundaries are sometimes necessary, even when they're painful. I've learned that being true to yourself can come with consequences. Over time, I found my voice. I learned how to advocate for myself. I learned how to stand up for what felt right. I learned that authenticity isn't about making everyone comfortable. It's about being honest with yourself. Some of those lessons showed up in my journey as a lesbian. Some showed up in my relationships. Some showed up in my family. But all of them have taught me the same thing. You cannot build a fulfilling life while constantly abandoning yourself. Years later, I joined a small company. Something unexpected happened. Despite all of the work I had done to become comfortable in my own skin, I found myself editing who I was. Not dramatically, not subtly, avoiding conversations, letting assumptions stand, choosing silence when honesty would have been much easier. One day, I caught myself. After spending years learning how to finally fully be myself, why was I shrinking again? What I realized is that authenticity isn't a destination. It's a practice. It's a choice we make over and over and over again, especially when it's uncomfortable. As a female lesbian, those choices happen more often than many people realize. People make assumptions. Conversations happen. Moments arise. And you decide whether to explain, correct, share, or stay quiet. What many people outside of the LGBTQ+ community may not realize is that coming out isn't a single event. It's often a series of moments throughout your life. But here's what I've learned. The real issue isn't sexuality. The real issue is belonging. It's whether people feel safe enough to bring their whole selves into a room. Because work is already hard. Life is already hard. Leadership is already hard. The last thing anyone should have to do is spend energy hiding who they are. That's why allyship matters. That's why inclusion matters. That's why belonging matters. Not because we're all the same, but because every person deserves the dignity of being fully themselves. As leaders, we don't have to understand everything or every experience, but we do have a responsibility to listen, to create space, to lead with curiosity instead of assumptions, and to build environments where people don't feel pressure to become smaller versions of themselves. Because when people stop hiding, they start thriving. That's good for individuals, teams, cultures, and businesses. This is Storytime with Lori. Let me leave you with this. The greatest lesson I've learned is that authenticity isn't about getting everyone to accept you. It's about refusing to abandon yourself so others can.